Well, hello. So, there's that mobile unit. Anyway, on Saturday night, November 6th of 20 and 21, um, I called the corporate number again, and it's 1-800-936-8997. And I talked to a girl named Jennifer, and she went to look at my account, but I guess she didn't read much of it. Um, but she was real friendly and convinced me she would have it taken care of and didn't have to worry about complaining or anything. That this was like a one call deal and all that. And she said that she could take care of it all. And I said, well, we got to make sure, because the other lady, Verge, that helped me said that she was going to cancel the whole account, and then I'd have to reorder the home internet thing and then wait for it to be shipped. And was going to put on prepay and on the other vlogs. That doesn't work. And so, because the manager, George, over there at Eglin Parkway store in Fort Walton, said, no, there's no prepay, and they've changed the website this week. So, everything's what they call postpay, which you got to use a credit card. So, and that's the thing I'm really against. So, anyway, I said, look, I mean, if there's any way you can just take this mobile unit back, hey, then thank you so much for the thumbs up. I love you. And I said, and then let me keep the home internet unit so I don't have to have my service interrupted. And just take this mobile unit back, because the whole thing was a Mickey Mouse mess. They should have informed me of everything they were doing. So anyway, she said, well, I could do it. I said, okay. So she said that I would get 50% off on my monthly service and the first 2 months free. I told her to take, first of all, I told her, she's like, we'll give you a refund. I said, look, it's going to take a while for you to send me a card and everything, because they'll send you a prepaid card to refund. I said, just put it on the home internet account. That way, this month's already paid for, and the next month be paid for. And so she said something about 2 months free. I know. Is this not dumb? I guess since the 29th, I think it was, is when I picked up the stuff or whatever. And so she was saying something about I get 2 months free, and then everything will be half off every month for just the home internet. And then she was going to send me a box, a prepaid return label or something, to return this back. And I said I could just take it to one of the other stores. And she said, no, we'll just let you ship it back. So make sure you know it's been opened by the guy that waited on me, because I didn't open it. I mean, I'd love to keep it, but they lied, and I really don't want to pay $100 up front for a unit that when they told me it was free, and then I don't get refunded for 2 years, but $2 a month apparently is what they're doing. Part one was a week ago. Geez, week of pain and stress. Yeah, I mean, it's just making me a nervous wreck over this stupid stuff. Especially when I got that letter the other day, and I thought, boy, it's that bill, because it said in the contract I would get the bill in a few days. It was like, no. So, I don't know if there's still a contract, because it says on the website there is no contract for that home unit, and that but they did change the website a little bit, where they did state post pay and no more prepay, because it was like if you did post pay, then you got $5 or $10 off a month, and if you did prepay, you had to pay the higher at 55. So she's escalating it to a higher rep, and I'm supposed to get the first 2 months free on my home internet and half off, and then they'll credit my 100 right off the top to my account. And so don't know, but we'll see what happens. Um, I just can't imagine. But and then I've just got to ship that unit back. So I don't know. But I'm not the only one complaining on the internet. Apparently, they do a lot of this free stuff. Like I was saying the other day, this lady, her husband got a text message from T-Mobile that said, "You qualify for a free line." And so he went down there and he didn't want the El Cheapo phone, so he paid $500 to buy a more expensive phone. Yeah, really. Well, they say the owner of T-Mobile is wonderful. So hopefully he's seeing these because this is not cool, and maybe they teach their reps to operate like this. I don't see how it's legal. I think there needs to be a class action lawsuit. I bet a ton of people are getting like used like this because that's just really scary, especially when they dupe off your damn signature on two different documents and 6 pages of paper that you don't get to see till you leave. I didn't know he put all that in there. He just handed me the big box and then that bag with that unit in it. And when I got back, it had 6 pages of paper. I was like, what's all this? You'd think you just get a little receipt there or something. But yeah, there's a lot of complaints on the internet with stuff like that. But that lady, her husband went down about that $500 phone for that second line because they thought, well, that will be handy for our customers. They could just call that number or whatever. And then the first bill they get says they're paying for the second line and that phone. Even you with the copy and paste your signature on something you never saw, I would ask a lawyer friend over the BBB. Yeah, the problem is BBB is no good unless they're registered with BBB. Um, yeah, as far as a lawyer is concerned, I've got one in my pocket. That's for sure. One of the biggest ones in Florida. But um, I just think that they really need class action lawsuit if they're going to operate like this. I just can't imagine they're in business and doing this. Just like those people that got that notice of you qualify for a free extra line, and they didn't get that and went and wasted $500 on the phone, and they end up getting all of it shut off and going to another phone company. So is it worth it? No. It's better to do good business instead of bad business. And the unfortunate thing is, bad news travels so much further than good news. That's a fact. And I believe this is part 11 of the T-Mobile ripoff scam. And then also, I saw something on there of where there's some T-Mobile scam where their website was compromised with everybody's information. And there's a bunch of scammy stuff going on with that. That's really scary. Would you feel bad if I was an employee and did that to tons of people? Yeah, I don't know how people can sleep at night. It's like really bad car salesmen that lie all day long. I think it's basically the same effect, you know? Um, it's shameful. Oh my gosh. But yeah, she said she would call back and check to make sure everything's taken care of. And then the girl that waited on me also said, this Jen girl, she also said I was her first customer. So she was a brand new remote employee, apparently. So I don't know. I just don't know if they're going to do all this or follow through with it. She said I would get 2 emails and one that says that has a label on it or something. And I said, well, my printer's not working right online. So she said, well, we'll just, let you go to any T-Mobile location and they can pull it up for you. And they'll print it out for you. I said, well, that'll work. I don't know why they just don't let me return it to one of the two mobile locations and let them handle it. So I'm just kind of bummed. I really don't want to go back to those last two stores. I wouldn't mind going to that third store. I'd be fine. They seem pretty nice. So, I just don't know. But how are you doing today? You doing pretty good? It is cold right now over here. And it was cold as the devil boondocking last night. Woo! Boy, was it cold. But I had two sleeping bags and two blankets. 49. Yeah, it's in the 40s over here. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be like 80 degrees in the day. And then it'll go wretched cold in the evening. Strange, strange weather. So I've been listing a lot of stuff on the internet today. Wish I could get it done so much faster. I need to get as much online as possible because I think the internet's going to do well for November and December. And I really need to get the stuff listed so that people can see it because they can't buy it if they can't see it. So, yeah. So, other than that, it's kind of about it. Just getting busy. Would be weird having Christmas in 80-degree weather. I've had it. I've had it, and then other times when I was in Bama, everybody always wishes for snow, and there won't be anything close to that kind of weather, and then all of a sudden, sucker snow for Christmas Day. It's like, you guys stop wishing for the snow, okay? I've had plenty of years of snow in other states, and no, I'm not thrilled with it. The biggest problem is it's just a problem. You may think it's pretty, but it's a problem. It's problematic. It's like if you ever had to shovel a driveway or sidewalk out or drive in the stuff with a bunch of other freaks that don't know how to drive in the weathers, it's a pain. Yeah. Yep. And it really use your utilities up. But yeah. So, but I mean, if I was in Tampa, it'd be 10 degrees warmer today. Yep. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a long day. I've been working on my office, cleaning and organizing, which I do every day, and listing stuff. You gotta shovel. Then you gotta be careful driving, not to slide on the road. Oh yeah, when I was working in Memphis, these people be driving through there, just plowing through like 60 mile an hour on the city streets, and it's like you see them go by like in big time hurry, and the streets be iced down, and you'll say, yeah, that sucker will get wrecked. And then you go about 2 or 3 blocks, and they've spun around in circles and hit something, you know, because people don't know how to drive in it. They're not careful. So yeah, it can be very problematic. Yep. So the worst is if you're in a really big car and the darn thing fishtails. That's scary. And whether you have cars around you or not, that's just really scary when that happens. Yep. But I don't miss those weathers. I do not. I don't know what the worst weather I've ever been through is. Probably Massachusetts with the leaves dropping. And it's like, time for me to exit stage left. You know, it was really cold. I don't know how those people do it. But, a lot of people will tell you, oh, I love the cold. And it's like, man, you must be the devil. How can you love the cold? Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't know. But other than that, that's kind of about it. But so did you have a big day today? Did you ever get your gaming unit sold? You were trying to get that done. I don't love the cold, but used to it. You're used to it? Oh, jeez. I mean, the one thing about the cold is you'll never age. I mean, it really, if you see a lot of older folks, it's like they never age. It's like it preserves you. Especially those ones that do that. I, I forget what they call it. It's like snowbird swimming or something. And they go out when it's freezing darn cold and go out in bathing suits and go swim in the ocean. And it's like, no, 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 no. I don't think so. Yeah, it's way too much. Too cold. Yeah. So, wow, I didn't get sold yet, huh? I bet you get sold pretty quick. Especially if you were to put it on eBay and put them bids on it, you know, or Amazon. I like Amazon better. Or just put it on Etsy. That's what I would do. I'd stick that sucker on Etsy. Yep. And they don't take PayPal, but all you gotta do is register a bank account with it. You know, if you have a bank card or something, and you'll get in pretty quick. But I mean, things sell really fast on Amazon, big time. Don't ever do the trade-in on Amazon. That's a royal ripoff. If you look up to trade in a phone or some electronics, oh my gosh, they don't pay any kind of money. They just don't. This thing says connect up to 16 devices. I think the other one's 15. And you know what? I don't see where that home unit will do 15 at all, because it has trouble running too. But I mean, it works okay, you know, just one thing. Like, it does good on my YouTube vlogs, you know. So it's like the better of all running on those YouTube vlogs, which is nice, because I don't like all that weirdness where it's uploading and doing weird stuff. But yeah, so, well, I hope you had a good day today. But do look into Amazon and see if you can run that thing out on Amazon. You'll be so glad you did. I love my Amazon. I'd love to get back on there, and eBay. You know, Etsy's slow. As a matter of fact, I got 2 sales for November. One on the first and one yesterday. And the one on the first was a good big money order. And then it's for this that I'm working on right now. For a lady. And then the other one is vintage shoe. So I need to pack that up probably tomorrow and get ready to ship that out. And but other than that, I mean, I'm happy that I got those two, thank God, because it's been slow, bad slow. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I still gotta get my ID for PayPal. Mine has limitation. When I get that, then I can remove it. Well, usually they limit it if you don't have a bank account locked up to it. But I used the I think what I used was the Bluebird American Express card from Walmart, and it's prepaid because they will have a bank account number, and then they'll open it up. But I mean, you get like so many sales until they, stop transferring money. So, um, yeah. But PayPal, I like PayPal a lot because um, it's it's easier to handle when you got problems with monies. I've been burned twice really bad on eBay with it. But and then Amazon, you've got to have a bank account, a brick and mortar bank account. But uh but I used an online thing called Ali for my bank to do on Amazon. But Amazon sells, man, I got to tell you. But I've talked to some people lately that claim Amazon got really expensive to sell on. Well, I haven't sold on it in like 3 or 4 years, I guess. Um, but would love to be back on there though, because it sells so well. But Etsy's just slow. Sometimes like I think all the internet stuff's gonna go real well for November, December. I just have that feeling. So we'll see. But yeah. unless you've got, you can do Facebook Marketplace, but you don't want them coming to your house, you know. That's the only thing. That can be dangerous. You want to meet them like in a public place of some sort. I think Walmart gas station has electrical plug-in where you could plug in and demo it, or at a park or something. But I would definitely meet them at a public place with some video or something before I would, you know, let them come to my house. But other than that, that's probably the better way to do it. Well, I just thought I'd drop in and tell you guys what's going on so far. I don't know if any of this stuff's true or gonna really work. I'm not really a fan of PayPal. I got 20 on there, but it's still just there and not accepted. Well, that's strange. Huh. Well, sometimes you can call them and fix it. Sometimes a lot easier to call them. But yeah, I mean, I've got commercial retail account on PayPal, and then I had another account, and then my daughter had an account, and we hadn't used those in a while, and I think she opened a new account. But yeah, so I like commercial. After you sell so much, they really want you to, because you've got to, you know get it to where you can open it up where you can get more money, or send more money or whatever. So I don't know, but yeah. So trying to get this lady's shoes done, and it's taking so much time. But I got a month to do them in. But she was like, "I'd like to have them for the 11th on my birthday." And it's like, man, that's absolutely 100% impossible. And it says in the ad how long you've got till I ship. I mean, it's like I got a hand run stone them. You don't just, I'm not buying the stuff and running it, and I'm actually making it for them. So, but they're pretty. Size 10, it's big. Yeah, it takes me to the page of the PayPal cash account, and then I hit, and it says photo ID stuff or other documents. Oh, yeah, probably your driver's license. You probably have to upload your driver's license. So, but, yeah, they gotta prove who you are. Depending on what kind of count you're carrying, if you're going to do commercial or if you're just going to do a regular one and run it up till it's almost maxed out, and then go commercial. So that's what I did. I ran it up. Thank you for the other thumbs up. You rock. It's just a regular one. Yeah, they're probably just verifying who you are, and because you got to remember, we got so many illegal aliens. I think that's their only alternative, is to try to verify everybody that they're U.S. citizen, or they're going to take a huge loss when people go back to where they come from or something. I don't know. But it helps from fraud. Like those people that sell stuff on eBay. There was a lady several years ago that sold a motorcycle on eBay for like $5,000 and didn't deliver the motorcycle. And that's really scary. And so that's probably what that's coming from, is a lot of that scammy stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. It's, if you look on the internet, you'll see it. Um, that's really scary, especially if you're the buyer. You don't get a motorcycle or your money back. It's super scary. And I mean, on eBay, you have to bid with a reserve. You have to put up a certain amount with eBay to even bid on cars and stuff like that. It's a requirement for many years. I'm sure it's higher now too. So I'm just not a big fan of eBay, because all the times I've sold on it, it was just as expensive as a brick and mortar retail store. And it's like, I'm not paying them all that money. I mean, the best deal is eBid. It comes from England, and you can buy a membership, and it's lifetime as a seller. And that's the way to do it. But I haven't sold much. I think I've sold like three things ever since like '04 or something on that site. And right now I'm not running anything on that site. It's just darn slow. I'll try again soon and try to put some stuff. I put face masks up there and stuff for a minute and a few rhinestone bras, but I didn't do any business. I saw a scam of those stars on the adult sites like OnlyFans scam people. I have a lot of cash, about 5 grand, really good. Yeah, a friend of mine got scammed yesterday on the street. Had these Persian people, and they had a bunch of necklaces on their neck, and they walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, I'll sell you this necklace for such and such." Hey, Roxanne. And uh and they said, "Well, he said, "Well, I don't know." And he had like $160 on him, period. And he's they said, "Well, we'll sell you this necklace, this all these rings for like $300 or something. They're all gold. Trust me, we put a magnet on them and all that crap." And he said, "Well, I don't have that." He said, $160 or nothing. And he had a buddy with him that goes, "Yeah, yeah, I think it's good." And turned around and he gave him 160. They gave him all that jewelry and took off. And then he put a magnet on it and just sucked it up. Some stars have scammed dear fans too. Huh. Yeah, so they have a place in Memphis that you can go buy stuff. It's an Oriental store, and they have a whole jewelry case full of jewelry, and it's beautiful stuff. And it's like $10, $15 for anything you want out of there, and it's all solid brass, and they polish it up, and it's just gorgeous. And everything has like 14 karat gold stamp on it and stuff like that. Even the necklaces, they have the thing that has the stamp on it and everything. And but they're not gold at all. Yep, and you could buy those all day long and be selling them. Yeah. So Roxanne, the deal on the T-Mobile is, I called corporate last night, and on November 6th of 2021, Saturday night, and talked to a new Filipino rep, and um uh she said that I was going to get half off on my service, 2 months free, and uh and that they were going to send me a return label to return this, and that whole thing would be done, but I could still keep the home unit. And I told him, I said, "Look, if you want to do anything at all, you don't even have to refund me that other money. Just put it towards my home unit, period. And we'll just do it like that. Because that bill will be coming in a few weeks. Actually, around right before the first of next month." So, she said, "Oh, well, then, yeah, we could do that." And then she's escalating to somebody else. But it was the first time this rep had ever waited on a customer. They're a brand new remote rep. So, I don't know if all this is true and gonna happen. So we'll just see. But it ought to be interesting. She said I'll get a couple emails from T-Mobile, but she had to send it to a superior and see what happens. And again, I've not heard from the district manager that Morgan that was supposed to have called me. So I don't know. Yeah, if that's true, that would be incredibly good, because then I'd get 2 free months and half off on I don't know how many months, plus the $100 credit. That would be pretty rocking, you know. Um, then I'll have to worry about paying that bill for a while. I mean, the unit's okay. It dumped the other night. when I was doing that live, it just went bunk. But I think that one says you can like hook up like 15 items to it, but I don't see it. You know, tomorrow will be 72. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like 80 here tomorrow day, and most of the week's gonna be like in the late 70s and to 80. That's some psycho weather, that's for sure. Definitely some psycho weather. But yeah, we'll see what they do if that's really true. Like I say, she said she was brand new rep, and I was the first customer she waited on, so everything was a yes, 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 yes. And you could tell her responses were just like so from the paper. Um, that she was like guaranteeing me everything would be okay. What's your temperature over there, Roxanne? Let me guess. 34. I think Jersey's already got snow. So it can be that cold for you, could it? So let's see. I guess 31 is freezing. 44. That's about what it is here. It was really cold last night, I gotta tell you. I had two sleeping bags, two blankets, and it was cold. And it was cold this morning. Oh my gosh, it was cold. Oh, it was cold. Yep. So I don't know. 68 and low 39 on Monday. Oh no way. Better get in your car. Better get in your car and head south. Woo, boy. Man, that's cold. I'll tell you what. There was one year here, just like 2, 3 years ago, where Navarre was, I was working in Navarre, and it was like 4 degrees or something that night. My car broke down. I had this new Cadillac, and the damn battery went dead, and the battery's under the back seat, and the battery's like the $1 billion battery. It's like majorly expensive. I think it was like $500 for a new battery. Oh my gosh. But I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And so I was going to stay in the car in front of the club after it closed, and which was in, it's a very nice area. And my boss was like, you can come to our house really if you want. I'm like, no, I better stay with the car because I have to bring all my stock with me and everything. And it's not the first time I had a car break down there in all the years. I had bought a van and drove it the first weekend, and it blew up. The tranny blew up coming to Florida from over the state line. And that was really a joke. But yeah. But I was so bummed when my caddy wouldn't run, and it was so cold that night. It dropped down to 4 or 6 degrees. And then I called him back, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. So they come back over to the club and let me follow them home. And man, I swore I never got warm. Those hours that I slept. Oh my gosh, it was so cold. And that's so rare for this area to be that cold. But I mean, last year was stormy as a devil. The whole year was stormy. So, and I need tires real soon. I got three that are really poo poo. And it's not a good thing to have poo poo tires in a place that's always raining. you know, it's just, it rains really a lot. I mean, it's been dry for like a couple days, but it just rains really a lot. It's so tropical here. But yeah, I thought I'd get on here and let you guys know what's going on because I was getting kind of nervous yesterday, and I thought, well, I'm gonna call them back, see what the deal is, because we're running out of time. Because This unit has a 14-day return period, or anything you buy from there, supposedly 14 days. And I didn't want to just get forced to keep it. I mean, I'd love to keep it. But I'm still mad about them abusing me by not telling me I had to buy the damn thing and I was on a 2-year contract. That really bugs me. And why I should wait 2 years for them to pay me back is beyond me. It should be just, buy it on the spot and then, pay for service or something, or don't buy it on the spot and pay payments for 2 years and then you own it or something, you know, just like anybody else does. Guess you never found out if you rent the little one or lease. No, I haven't found out yet if I own this at the end of the thing or what. They just told me that I had to buy it up front. The last two people I talked to said, "Oh no, you buy it up front and then they refund you like $2 a month for 2 years." Yeah, I don't like that payment plan. And I especially don't like they run that credit check on me so many times because, if I go to rent something or buy something, I guess my stuff's going to be really trashed out. And that won't be a good thing, you know. I don't have bad credit. I just don't have any because I don't do credit. I just pay my bills. I can tell you about my unit. Yeah, I've got a Verizon one I bought a few years back, but their service is really high. I mean, this sounded like such a cool deal, and the guy goes, "Yeah, the unit's free and it's half price on the internet right now." And I'm like, for the first month, and I was like, "No, all the way through, half price." But I mean, they don't tell you if you actually own this, you know. And it would be nice. And then I told him, I said, "Well, is there a guarantee on it?" I did signed up for their 2-year payment plan. They just added it each month to the bill, and after that, it's fine. Man, this dude took $80 out of me right off the top, and I gave him 100. 2015, yeah. But the biggest thing is the batteries will go bad and stuff, and this has a battery in it. And I said, "Well, when it gets crappy or outdated, are you guys going to replace it free, or I got to buy another one?" Because I like Verizon, but yeah. Well, the last time I turned it on, it was like um 8 gig for like $110 or something. But I used it for all my Amazon and my eBay stuff, every single day. So it worked for me. And the area I was in, you couldn't get internet or anything. That was the only hope. And I paid like $300, like $275 or $300 for that unit at like Office Depot or something. But the service was so high. Oh my gosh, it was high. But I like the home unit. It's okay. I mean, it's at like 90% strength where it's at, but it may need another update to it or something. Um, because it took like 7 or 8 times to get to start up. And the guy told me if I had any problem, just to bring it down there and they'd start it up for me. But I don't know why they just didn't do that at the store anyway. So it'd be ready and I just go plug it in. But really, it says on there that the unit can't move anywhere. It has to be at the location you gave them. And it's not like you can pick it up and go somewhere else and use it. But I mean, it's okay. And I think that when it has a battery in it, I think that's why it's so heavy. I think it has a battery in it. It might work without power. You know, um, if you have a power outage, I don't know. But that unit, I don't think you own that big mobile unit, the big home one. And this one, I'm not sure if you get to own that or not. I just don't know. I just wish they would have been more straightforward and stuff and, gone over the contract with me and explained anything I had a question about or something. Um, because, lying is just not the thing. You know, yeah. But apparently they're doing it to a lot of people, so I looked on the internet and there's a lot of people complaining about the T-Mobile ripoffs. So, I mean, they're getting to be as shady as Sprint was. The Sprint, now that was a serious ripoff. Man, I know so many people were ripped off by Sprint. And it was like, man, people say, yeah, I'm going to get a Sprint phone. It's like, don't do it. You know, don't do it. So I liked my Suncom phone back before it was like AT&T, but it was so expensive. And forging the signature, that's bad. Well, I mean, they took my signature on the iPad and duplicated it and put it on two documents. And they didn't tell me about any documents that were sticking it on. And how they do it twice is beyond me. You know, it's kind of shady. I'm kind of thinking there was a contract in there and he just like checked the check button and went on with it without even letting me, see the contract or explaining it to me. Because I ask a lot of questions and I take notes. So it's really upsetting when apparently it's not that way because that contract was a giant surprise and totally surprising many times all the different stuff I was reading. I just wish they'd have been honest. But I just really, right now, can't afford this unit. Not when I had to pay $90 up front, or actually 100 total, and it went absolutely nowhere. But supposedly do that. So I mean, that was not what I thought I was doing. I thought I was prepaying my bills because I told them I wanted to go ahead and give them money towards my internet bills on the two, but that's not what happened. That whole one receipt is only for this item. When I called back and talked to the girl manager at that second store, she was telling me that whole bill was just for one item. And I'm like, what the heck? So that doesn't make any darn sense. Especially when the loan contract says this thing where it says you're approved for 40, so you owe balance of 40, and it's like, so why did they take 100? Um, I'm not getting it. Yeah, the whole thing's messy. So I don't know. But I imagine there'll be a class action lawsuit on them pretty shortly. There's just too many people that are doing like that. And I guess they're teaching their reps just to do that. Verizon is good, but expensive. Yeah, Verizon is expensive. But, Verizon's bought out just like everything across the United States. There are very few places that Verizon won't float. I know Southern California, it's like AT&T is the better phone in Southern California. My Verizon one wouldn't work at all. My straight talk Verizon just did not want to work in California, in Southern California at all. It was just basically worthless. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. So look at this dress. Oh, this dress is so pretty. I've been photographing and listing today. It's really pretty. It's got silver sparkles in it and stuff. Pretty cool. And it's a tiny little dress. It's like an extra small. But yeah, so I don't know. It's a messy deal. But I thought I'd touch base with you guys and let you know what's going on. I wonder what you saw on the iPad when you were signing your name. I didn't see anything. He just said thank you, Roxanne. Um, uh, he was like, okay, pick 2 digits of your social security number in here, and then sign this, And I thought that was for like picking up the merchandise. I didn't know that was for some contracts and stuff. Been nice if I'd have known, you know. So I know they were trying to get me out in a hurry because I was mad because I spent so many hours at that other store. They just used me up at that other store. There's no excuse for that. Absolutely no excuse to be there like from 1:15 to almost 5 in one store. That's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And it's bad because I wasn't wearing my watch, and you know, I wasn't looking at my phone or anything. And I mean, and all those four other people that were sitting around the table playing on their phones, it was like, I had asked a couple times, could somebody help? Because this stuff's not going through, you know. And the guy that was waiting on me couldn't get it to go through. And it just kept rejecting. It was like 17 times for the application, like 5 times for the credit check on the phone with the people. And then, like, they tried it out 3 more times, and they were just hanging up on him. And I left that store with nothing. That first store with absolutely nothing. And then they wanted me to drive down the street to the other one to go pick up my items, and said they had it all ready. Yeah, well, that first store, those suckers are closed, and everybody was asking them that would come in there, and they had no phones available because they'd shipped them out while I was there. They had boxed them up, and UPS came to get them while I was there. And they just didn't really have anything in the store, just a bunch of employees sitting around. I don't even know why they had all those employees there, because they couldn't, sell a phone. And they were just sitting around playing on their phones. And the one guy had a really bitter attitude. Um, and the manager, she didn't want to do anything at all. That card on that first vlog, it is that manager's name. That's her. But people were asking, oh, so where are you going to reopen at? And they're like, nowhere. And I guess because those people destroyed the store. Probably broke it so bad they treating people like that they just might as well fold the store because it just doesn't make any money. And that's a good location, a really prime location. But if you got all crappy employees and a crappy manager, you better off to shut the doors and stop paying rent. You know, I mean, they probably would do better with a unit inside the mall, but I mean, outside that mall where they're located was outrageously good, right next to Starbucks. A super good location. As a matter of fact, there's a banking ATM right next to that store, so people are constantly boom, boom going to the ATM. So if they say T-Mobile store, they might drop in and see about getting a phone or some service or something. So it's a shame that got closed, but I'm sure it's because that store was not productive in any kind of way. There's nobody would get up and help. When I was there, and I was there for many, many hours, and there was no reason for that. No reason nor proper excuse for that. Especially when I left with nothing. And they want to send me to the other store all of a sudden. Because it was like we kept battling for the last, like, probably hour and a half on the part she claimed they wanted me to fill the stuff out all over again. And she claimed it was for the shipping. They were just trying to get through the shipping part, and it kept bringing up credit apps. I'm like, why do we keep doing credit apps? When they took over Sprint, they closed some stores. They had an area with a Sprint and then T-Mobile store back to back, so it made no sense having so many open together since they're the same company now. Really? Well, that's interesting, though. All the people must have been idiots or doing what they were trained to do. Hopefully, you won't have to make a part 12. You believe it? We're already at 11. We're almost like a dozen eggs. Man, I don't know. This girl made all these great promises and stuff, but I don't know if they're going to approve all that. And she did say that some of it she had to have some higher individual make sure to approve it all or part of it or something. So it would be interesting to see if all this stuff goes through. I mean, that would be pretty decent if I got the 2 months free and then get half off for life, plus my $100 credit of what I paid. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know how all those people. Why? I mean, If I owned that store, I'd be mad as hell if all those people were in that store and nobody's working. They're just playing on their phones at a table, you know? And the manager doesn't want to do customers, and puts me with this one real nice guy that's from Chicago or New York, the guy that waited on me. But I think they were just playing games with me all that time cause that's insane long time. I was so mad when I left that store and I looked at the clock. I'm like, no, because I left work to go down there. I thought it was going to just take like 5 or 10 minutes, you know, but no. So I called 2 times before I went and asked more questions that I thought of before I went down there because I don't want to go down and do some Mickey Mouse circus stuff, because most of the time they don't tell you everything. And so I literally will ask questions to find out what the real deal is, you know? So, I don't know. I mean, like I say, I would have loved to kept this unit, but I can't do it paying, $100 up front and then get another bill in a few days for that. And I'm just not going for it. I really can't do it financially at this point. Other than the fact they're going to have auction. They moved the auction date up for this month because of the holidays, which, I mean, would have been lovely if I had money. Um, because that's what really makes me money is the auctions. And as you know, I didn't get anything on the last one because that bozo that bid like a fool, which I need to do a vlog about that and how not to make enemies at an auction because all of us are like regulars that go to it all the time. And this guy was a newbie. He thought it would be fun and he was an idiot. I mean, it was just so, he just thought it was storage wars, man. And it was wanting to know people's names and their phone numbers and stuff that had the storages and stuff. And, so you could ask them questions or whatever. And it was like, dude, that's like super painful if you were the owner of that storage. And the next thing is, there's a point of secrecy. The storage complex can't be giving out people's information and stuff and whose it was and all that. But I mean, you are required to turn over important documents so that the storage company can contact people. Say, hey, we've got your, you know, photo albums down here. We've got a bunch of documentation of yours or your driver's license or whatever that was left in the storage. I mean, all the important stuff you're supposed to turn over to the office, and then they get it to the former owner. And then if it's drugs or guns, that has to go to the sheriff's department. And then the storage company has a copy of the person's driver's license, so they report them for having drug paraphernalia in a storage unit. And so then that's how the cops start watching the person, because they've already stored drugs in a unit. If they've gone to another unit, they'll get a court order to go into it because they'll assume there's drug stuff going on there too. So you have to be really careful. Oh, yeah, there's so much crap in storage units, you wouldn't even believe it. Let me tell you, I did one, and I've done vlogs on it. I had one where I must have found 60 glass crack pipes, man. 60 of them. It was like, what do they do? Just buy them by the case? Because they were everywhere. It's like, oh, another crack pipe. Oh, another crack pipe. Here's some more pills. I mean, I had one unit that had inserts from pill bottles in white kitchen trash bags, full. Like they took the insert out of the bottle and threw it in a bag, and it was full of them. Oh yeah, tons of crack pipes. Oh yeah, you find all kinds of stupid crap. I found one with weed in it, and I dumped it in the street. I did. I emptied it out like parsley. And everybody's like, well, God, why'd you do that? And I'm like, because I wanted to get rid of it. I didn't want any drugs. And then the complex was like, you're supposed to turn all the drug paraphernalia over to us. And it's like, oh, well, you should have said something. That's the thing. They should be handing a paper out to people so that they know the rules of the game. and what you have to do and what you don't do. That would be so much better. And all the complexes are a little bit different on how they handle their storage auctions and units. I mean, I've done them where you had to empty it out that day, or they charge you rent. Um, I've done it where you only had a few hours to empty it out. Some of them let you use trash cans, some of them don't. Um, the one complex that I bid at a lot, they don't want you to use a trash can at all. Yep. So you have to pay to take stuff to the dump, and then you have to wash all the clothes before you even donate them. Oh, and it costs so much money to do all that. I mean, and I hate to throw anything in the trash when people could use it. It's getting colder here, and there's people that can use clothes. So I usually give a lot of the clothes, if it's not anything I want to resell on the internet or something, a lot of the clothes I give to the real homeless people that I know in the area. The real ones, not those ones with little signs that show up at Walmart every day from 8 to 5. I'm talking about the real homeless that don't have a little sign and they don't bother anybody and they pulling a cart behind them with all their worldly belongings. I'll go to them first and say, hey, you want some shirts or some pants or sweaters, and I give it to them, you know, and it's fresh and clean on top of it. So I'll do that and get most of it gone, and then the rest I'll take to donate. So, because they'll turn around and sell that to help, the homeless or the poor people or people that got a job and can't afford to go buy work clothes. And a lot of times they'll front that to the people, the poor people, so that they have work clothes. So all these jobs that require all these uniforms and all that, they're supposed to be paying for it. That's the law with labor board. If you require somebody to wear a uniform, they're supposed to supply it. And they don't, even today. They'll be going, well, you get one shirt and you work 6 days a week and just wear black pants. And then it's like, dude, I gotta go buy like 7 pairs of black pants. You know, it's lame. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go here. I hope you have a really great day tomorrow. And hope you got some great plans for tomorrow. I do. I've got tons of stuff to list. And I'm tired already. I have one more vlog to do about Etsy, which will crack you guys up. You got to be ready for that one. It's really interesting. I'm putting it on the internet. I don't care. I will. Um, but thank you so much, man. I already got 2 for this month. Thank God, because I had none last month. But I need like a whole bunch because I would love to do auction on this round, especially when they're holding it early. It would be ideal. It'd actually be better to do them that early, but man, we just had this other one, and I had a ton of money for that one, and I have none for this one. So I hope I get a bunch of sales so I can do it. That would be super cool because I really do well on them. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and appreciate your thoughts. And as always, do something kind for a stranger, and I'll be back to see you shortly. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Talk to you later.